For the past decade, the New York Jets have possibly been the worst organization in the NFL and possibly one of the worst organizations in sports in general. Since the 2010 season when the New York Jets had an 11-5 record and went to their second straight AFC Championship game, the Jets have 0 playoff appearances, they've started 12 different quarterbacks, and they've had a 57-95 record. Much of this can be attributed to poor performance on the field, but I also think a lot of this needs to be placed on the fact that I don't know if they have an owner who cares. I don't know if they have management that truly cares, and I don't know if they have a coaching staff that truly cares. But I don't know how much of the blame can be placed on the players because, like I said, a lot of the management and higher-ups around them seem like they just don't care at times. This is why I think we've seen a lot of struggle from quarterbacks who have been drafted by the Jets in the past decade. You look at guys like Geno Smith, you look at Sam Darnold right now. They had virtually nothing really around them in terms of talent. And it's not, like I said, it's not to bash the guys that were in the New York Jets locker room during those years. It's mostly to take the fact that the management just didn't do a good enough job making the team, building them up, and then putting a new quarterback in to take them to the next level. Looking at the Kansas City Chiefs when they drafted Patrick Mahomes a few years ago, you could understand the plan that they had for Patrick Mahomes. They were going to draft him, sit him behind Alex Smith for a year, and see what a winning team looks like. Because the Kansas City Chiefs, at the time that they drafted Mahomes, were a very good team. They had a Pro Bowl level quarterback in Alex Smith. They had a very good defense and a very good offense. It's just when they put in Mahomes after his year of sitting behind Alex Smith, he took them to the next level. And that was, after his first year, he went to and won the Super Bowl in his second year against the 49ers. And he's been possibly the best quarterback drafted out of the past decade and a half. I bring up the Chiefs drafting Mahomes because when you look at the Jets, if you were to say that they needed Trevor Lawrence, that would be Trevor Lawrence might be the last player that they need. Because there's virtually no talent on the offensive side of the ball to help Trevor Lawrence out. There's no options, there's no weapons. They have a good young left tackle in Mekhi Becton, but there's really no one great for him to throw to. There's no one great in the backfield for him to hand the ball off to. And when you look at the defensive side of the ball, they just traded away Jamal Adams and Avery Williamson in the past 2 to 3 months, who were two mainstays on the defensive side of the ball. They haven't had a lot of luck drafting defensive talent. And Marcus May is a good young safety, like Mekhi Becton's a good young left tackle, but he's nowhere near the talent that the New York Jets need to be looking at and saying, we're ready to take the next step. So the overall point that I'm trying to get to is that Trevor Lawrence is probably the worst move that the New York Jets can do in terms of who they're going to draft in the 2021 NFL draft. And that's nothing to do with Trevor Lawrence. It has absolutely zero to do with Lawrence. It has everything to do with the fact that the New York Jets are an awful organization. They have limited talent on both the offensive and defensive side of the ball. We don't even know who the coach is going to be next year because I think the only thing we can guarantee about the coaching staff is that Adam Gase is going to be gone. And honestly, if he's still there next year, it's even worse. I would honestly have no head coach than have Adam Gase as my head coach. So just all of that swirling around the Jets right now, putting Trevor Lawrence into your franchise, putting him as your cornerstone or however you want to phrase it, putting him there and having him take all the heat is not what you want to do to a first-year rookie quarterback. Drafting someone on the defensive side of the ball is probably one of their better moves. They haven't had any defensive real key players since Darrelle Revis. They haven't had a key player on offense either, but I think they need to build up the defense first, target guys in the linebacking core and on the secondary, and then go from there. They still have Sam Darnold, and with the number 1 overall pick, there's a very good chance that somebody in the bottom half of the league, like the Patriots, like maybe the Cowboys, like maybe, I don't know, another team that's just performing poorly this year, could very well try to trade for that number 1 overall pick. With that, you could get some good players. You could get even more draft picks. So there's a lot of moves that they need to make before they get their franchise quarterback. And then even with that, they could already have their franchise quarterback with Sam Darnold. He's just been in such a bad franchise that we don't know yet if he's ready to be the franchise guy. And if they make enough moves to put actual talent around Sam Darnold, then drafting Trevor Lawrence shouldn't even be an option. Alrighty, with all that being said, that's going to be the video for me. I hope you all enjoyed it. If you did, make sure you hit the like button. If you didn't like it, make sure you hit the dislike button. Any feedback from you all at this point is much appreciated. If you're a Jets fan, let me know if you agreed or disagreed down in the comment section. I try to get back to everybody that comments. And if you're new around here, make sure you hit subscribe, turn on the notification bell. I try to put out as much content as possible. And I'll see you in the next video. Peace.